If you watched my 2024's version of ranking all minigames on the Hive, you would have seen that I did give Murder Mystery a bit of a harsh reputation. Now, of course, I never said it was bad because even on that video, it did score a B tier, which to me meant that it was somewhere in the 7 to 7.9 range out of 10, so it was still decent. But even then, I do think that I was a little harsh on Murder Mystery. I didn't appreciate it enough. This is not a video of me claiming that Murder Mystery in the blink of a week went from a B tier, like a 7 out of 10, to suddenly a 9 or close to a 10. That's not at all what this video is. I still have a couple issues with Murder Mystery, but grinding it a little bit more as of recent allowed me to appreciate the game a little bit more. It allowed me to forgive its sins to an extent and enjoy it a little more than I thought I would. It's been a very enjoyable experience to pair up with my girlfriend and grind this game a little bit. In the span of a week, I've went from level 37 to 41, and it's been pretty fun along the way. Of course, the fun does have to come from somewhere, and Murder Mystery luckily had an uptick in quality within the last year, maybe year and a half or so. It had to do with the last 6 maps that were released. They were divided into 2 map packs, and the first map pack included Remnants, Chroma, and Pigment, and then the second one included Backrooms, Castletown, and Fairy Gardens. All 6 of those maps were an exciting new take on what an innocent would have to do each game. My issues with the Murder Mystery's innocent role had been remedied rather quickly. If we're talking about maps like Warehouse or Toy House or SO Hotel, we're just collecting coins and maybe purchasing a vending machine of some sorts to get speed for 10 seconds or however much. But now, there's a twist. You take the typical innocent experience and you give us little mini quests to do to occupy ourselves while we're trying to A, figure out who the murderer is, B, collect enough coins in order to actually kill them, and C, actually land your shot. I digress about accuracy though. Moving back to what I was saying, 6 maps completely changed the future of Murder Mystery in my opinion. Adding those 6 maps, each with their own unique gimmick to make it stand out from one another, changes how Murder Mystery might be made in the future. Will Hive add another set of 3 maps, say a year from now, where they will try to capitalize on that whole gimmick idea? Or, alternatively, would they go back to old maps and try to freshen those up as well? Either way, I would be very happy. I would argue that Murder Mystery's biggest focus should be on its gameplay. As a murderer, it does a good job. As a sheriff, it does alright. I'm not big into being sheriff, but it's not bad. Innocents, as long as we're playing these 6 maps, are great. But we need to prioritize the gameplay of Innocent, because if that's what we're going to be predominantly playing as, we have to take the measures needed to make sure that that gameplay style doesn't get too stale or old. And luckily, as I said, with these 6 maps, we're getting closer to finding that near-perfect formula. Now, despite those great things I said, I still have to go to mention that 2/3 of the maps are a little bit lesser and definitely heading closer to the lackluster category. However, because I'm a spoiled brat and I got Hive Plus and my girlfriend has Hive Plus, we get what we want. Jokes aside, however, it's not all sunshine and rainbows here. One issue I do have is that Innocent XP can be anywhere between good and atrocious. Stalling the game provides you with more XP, so long as you survive, than it would be to end it quickly as a hero, or a sheriff. And that, to me, is balancing that should be looked at and reassessed as a whole, but if you're not here for XP, then this is pretty arbitrary and you probably don't care at all, but for those who are trying to grind this game, unfortunately, that is a problem for us all, and I empathize with you. Murder Mystery will never be one of my favorite games, but I can definitely recognize that there's a lot of effort and innovation that's taking place in a game here, and I can appreciate that deeply. My interest in Murder Mystery does usually grow a little bit every passing update, and hopefully we're on the course to a really good future in store. In present time, it's definitely not an S tier game, no matter how hard you try to argue, but it's definitely better than a B, so talking about this in retrospect, I'd personally move Murder Mystery from bottom of B to probably bottom of A. In essence, the past was mediocre, the present is pretty strong, and the future has never looked brighter for Murder Mystery.